I used to believe hospitals were places of healing, white walls, the faint smell of antiseptic, nurses with calm voices promising everything would be fine. But I learned the truth one cold night in October. Hospitals don't always heal. Sometimes they keep what you leave behind. My name is Evan Cole, and I worked as a night security guard at St. Mercy Memorial Hospital, a century-old building on the edge of a quiet town in Pennsylvania. It was the kind of hospital that had more shadows than patients. Half the floors were shut down after budget cuts, but they never stopped keeping the lights on dim, flickering, and humming like dying insects. I was assigned to patrol the East Wing, a section that had been closed for years after a fire in 1986. The hospital used it for storage now, or at least, that's what they said. My supervisor, a guy named Harris, warned me, "Just do your rounds and don't go past the red doors. You'll hear things, ignore them. That wing's got bad wiring, and the monitors act up sometimes." Bad wiring, that was the excuse for everything strange that happened in that building. The first night seemed normal, but around 2:13 a.m. I heard a heartbeat monitor beeping, faint but steady, echoing from a floor that should have been silent. Curiosity won over fear. I followed the sound to room 311, a small patient room coated in dust. The door was cracked open. Inside, a single hospital bed stood under the flickering light, and the monitor beside it, it was on. I stepped closer, checking the cords. Nothing was plugged in. The power cable dangled freely, and yet the screen pulsed green beep, steady and slow. Then, on the bed I saw it, an imprint like someone had just been lying there. The pillow was indented. I froze, and then the monitor flatlined. When I looked back, the imprint was gone. The next night, the same room called to me again. I told myself I'd stay away, but something deep in me, like a whisper, pushed me toward it. When I reached room 311, the air was freezing. My breath came out in white clouds, and on the window, written in the fog, were the words, "They took it." I stepped back, heart racing. Who took what? I whispered aloud, half expecting no reply. But then I heard a woman's voice, faint and trembling. My soul. I spun around. No one there. Just the smell of burnt plastic and medicine. The next morning I asked a nurse about room 311. She paled. "That room's been closed for years. There was a patient there. Young woman, car accident. She survived the surgery, but her heart stopped the next night. They said she just vanished from the morgue. No trace. Vanished." I had to know more. That night I broke protocol and went through the red doors, the ones Harris told me to avoid. Beyond them was a corridor that sloped downward, leading to the old basement. The air smelled like iron and mold. The fluorescent lights buzzed weakly, leaving long shadows between each step. At the end of the hall, I found a metal door labeled Spiritual Containment Unit. That wasn't on any blueprint. Inside, rows of glass jars lined the shelves, each one filled with a pale, swirling mist, and each tagged with a name and date of death. And on the central table, a logbook. I flipped it open. The last entry read, "Patient 311, subject successfully transferred." Transferred, not deceased. That's when I realized this hospital didn't just treat the sick, it harvested souls. As I turned to run, the lights flickered out. Darkness swallowed the room. Then I heard it. Footsteps, slow and wet, echoing behind me. A tall figure emerged from the dark, a man in a blood-stained white coat, face hidden behind an old surgical mask. His voice rasped, "You shouldn't be here, Evan." They all signed the consent forms. "What are you talking about?" I yelled. "Their bodies heal. Their souls powered the hospital. You see, every miracle has a cost." He lifted his hand, and in it, a jar. My name was on the label. I ran, but every hallway bent into another, the same corridors repeating endlessly. The sound of my footsteps mixed with the heartbeat monitor again, faster, louder, pounding in my head. I burst through a door and stumbled into the ICU. Empty beds surrounded me, each with a patient monitor flashing a name, hundreds of them. Then, one by one, the screens lit up with faces. Each patient stared directly at me. Whispers filled the air. "You found us. Free us. Take our place." My chest burned like something was trying to crawl out of me. I looked down and saw light seeping through my skin, glowing veins spiraling from my heart. My soul was being pulled. I fought it, screamed, but the force was too strong. The faces on the monitors were smiling now. And then I saw her, the woman from room 311. She stood beside the doctor, pale eyes glowing softly. "You shouldn't have come here," she said gently, "but maybe you can help us leave." She touched my chest and everything went dark. The hospital claimed I suffered carbon monoxide poisoning. Harris said I must have fallen asleep during my shift, but I know the truth. I left that place, but not all of me did. Every night since, I see the reflection of that woman in every mirror. I feel the heartbeat monitor inside me, steady and slow. And sometimes, when I close my eyes, I see a room full of jars, and one of them is still glowing, with my name on it. If you ever visit a hospital that feels too quiet, too cold, check the monitors. If one starts beeping when no one's there, leave immediately, because sometimes the hospital doesn't want your body. It wants your soul.